I feel honored to be here. Thank you. The basics in my life feel really good. My marriage and family, my work, my health, my living situation. And at this point in my life, all my desires focus into one thing, and that is I really want to know my connection to the source. I believe it intellectually, but my consciousness behaves as if deep down it still thinks I'm separate. Is there anything you can say that will help me to know my connection?
Well, do you think that you really feel separate, or do you think that you have so gradually come into alignment that your vibrational relativity is just not so discernible?
I'm not sure I understand. Could you say it in a different way?
Jerry and Esther have purchased a magnificent new monster bus. It is the most extravagant, extraordinary contraption imaginable. And they picked it up in the middle of the month of February. So they've had it for a few months now. And Jerry commented the other day that it has been stunning to him. Now, they love it. They love how it drives. They love how it looks. They love how it feels. It has added a sense of ease and well-being to their very busy life experience, and they are appreciating it enormously. But Jerry cannot help but notice that when he first saw it, it knocked him over. The first night, he just about sat up all night and just looked at different pretty things about it. And he and Esther would sit in this chair and look, and this chair and look, and lay on the floor and look up, and stand up and look down, and go over here and look over here, and go over here and look over here. They just could not believe the workmanship and the beauty of the thing. And now it's just the place they live. They have adjusted to it. It looks normal to them. And they will get into a campground, and as people come into the campground, there is a circle of cars circling their coach, and people giving them thumbs up and taking pictures and pointing at it. In other words, it's stunning to them. And Jerry and Esther are startled over and over again because they have forgotten how it felt to them when they first saw one. They've circled many parks and looked at many buses, but they've lost that vibrational relativity because they've moved into it and have adjusted to it, and now they can't feel the difference of it. You see what we are getting at? Mm-hmm. And we think that happens to a lot of you who have gradually come, sometimes through the reading of one of our books or someone else's, sometimes through the listening to one of our tapes or someone else's. You have gradually come into vibrational alignment with that which you are, and it's happened so incrementally and so naturally that you are now so up to speed with who you are, and we think you're looking for something that is different than it really is.
You know, I think I understand what you're saying. I had along my journey a few moments here and there where the clouds seemed to part and where I experienced myself as source.
But you see, when those clouds part and you see yourself as source, you've had a big jump in vibration that you never acclimate back to again. In other words, when you have those out-of-body experiences, or when you have those moments in meditation, or when you have those goosebumps, or those ahas, or those feelings of appreciation that feel like you're turning inside out, you've jumped into a vibration that's just beyond that which is normal to you, but you never go back to where you were before, you see. And so the thing that we want you to hear, and so many of you, is that you have been gradually acclimating to the vibration that is, when Esther first began receiving us, she felt like she had her toe in a light socket. Because you all, and Jerry, was summoning more of the Abraham vibration through Esther than she was vibrationally up to speed with. Over all of these years, nearly 20 now, Esther has become a vibrational match to Abraham. She can get in alignment with us very quickly. And so Esther doesn't feel the swooning that she once felt. She doesn't feel the electricity pulsing through her. It doesn't make her feel exhausted. It energizes her. In other words, she's acclimated to the energy. And we want you to know that you are acclimating more to it than you are giving yourself credit. There are a lot of you. Let's take a little bit different tact on this. You'll hear this easily. Sometimes a person will say, I now don't know what I want. And the reason that they will say that is because they are associating the word wanting or the experience of wanting with a strong feeling of yearning that they used to feel when they wanted something that they didn't think they were going to be able to get. So what we want you to hear is that's not wanting, that's yearning. Wanting something that you don't think you're going to get is a different feeling than wanting something that you know you're going to get. You following us? So when you want something that you know you're going to get, that feels like expectation. That feels like enthusiasm. When you want something that you don't know you're going to get, that feels like yearning, but that is what most people think wanting is. And we think similarly, that you think connection to source is something that feels different. You think that it is that feeling of jumping vibration and that feeling of extraordinary elation that comes. And we want you to know that connection with source energy feels like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, that's fabulous. In other words, it's like, imagine being in an airplane. You're at 50,000 feet. You're going 600 miles an hour across the airways. And you look out your window and you see the landscape going by and everything in your world is in perfect order. Put that same airplane on the ground at that speed. A whole different experience. So what happens to you is that you acclimate to the higher vibration, and then you think because you're not having the rough ride that you once have that you're not making progress, you see. And we want you to understand that you are closer to that connection than you're giving yourself credit for, which leads us to the most important part of the answer that you're looking for. You cannot get more of something you want by pointing out you don't have enough of it. Let that be the title of the next book. You can't get more of something that you want by pointing out that you don't have enough of it. Enough money, enough love, enough clarity, enough connection, enough of anything. Because whatever you're saying, whatever you're focused upon is what you're holding as activation.
So
Yes.
if I say I want more, does that automatically indicate that I feel I don't have enough?
Depends on how you feel. The words don't matter. But if you say, I want more, and you feel like you don't have enough, yes, you're slowing yourself down. If you say, well, I want more because this is so fabulous, you're speeding yourself up. In other words, the words don't matter. It's how you feel. You can tell by the way you feel. So are you yearning for this connection, or are you pleased about the connection and looking forward to it being deeper? And that's the stance you want to have relative to everything. I'm satisfied with where I am and eager for more. Because in the moment that satisfaction turns to dissatisfaction, you offer a vibration that prevents it from coming. And people worry. They say, but if I'm satisfied, won't the universe say, oh, they're satisfied, they don't need any more? And we say, it doesn't work like that. The universe is not divvying things out as if there's some sort of shortage. You get everything that you want relative to everything. And the more you want, the bigger the universe becomes. Look at your economy today. It didn't get bigger because somebody trucked in more stuff from other places. Your economy is expanding because your ideas are expanding. Your desires are expanding. It will always be that way. There are enough resources for you to infinitely receive. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.